Cut. With me is my dear colleague from Superheroes Bulgaria, as always, my partner in superhero discussions, Lohan K.
In spoiler discussions, especially. In spoiler discussions, especially.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, I am closing some stuff because there was an echo for a moment there. I was keeping the Twitch window open. Never mind. So, spoiler discussions, guys. A bit, about the movie and what stood out to us and such things. So, first of all, what do you thought about the Snyder cut compared to, the Whedon cut, Whedon,
The
Whedon movie?
Justice League, as they dubbed it now,
Yes.
well, way better. I mean, I really liked it more. I like the theatrical version in 2017 when I watched it, but it was probably because I always wanted to see these heroes on big screen together, and uh, this was the only thing that we get back then. But it
Yeah.
was kind of like I always compared it with. It wasn't something epic, but to me it was like an episode of the cartoon Justice League,
Yeah.
which was great, of
Absolutely.
course.
Episode of a
And I
cartoon.
said,
Yeah.
okay, compared to that TV show, it's actually like an episode of that, really laid back. But I always said that if it's going to be the Justice League, then we actually need something more epic, and we finally got it.
Indeed.
Uh,
We did. Yeah, so when the original Snyder, not Snyder, Jesus Christ, that's gonna be in my mouth a lot. So when the original, not original, but the Justice League came out and we saw it, we weren't like, disappointed by it that much. I mean, there were some things to be liked about it, but like overall, as a whole, as a package, it was not that cohesive. So that was kind of the issue here. And you can
Especially
see
in
the
terms of
problems.
characters. Yeah, most of the characters, we just didn't know anything about them. They were there, kind of, who they are, what they are. But the Snyder Cut actually shows that you don't need to have separated movies with those guys so that you know who they are, because just give the person 4 hours to show you everything about them, and it works.
Absolutely. And thank you very much, dear Clayton, for letting me know that the stream is running great. Weasel Baboon, hello to
Great.
you too. We actually just did a discussion on Superheroes Bulgaria channel and I lost my voice. So we talked for an hour and I'm like, yeah. I probably have that ferret thing from the Suicide Squad trailer just went into my throat because I was too disgusted, by some of the things in the trailer, one of them being that creature. So it's probably here now, making some issues for me. So yeah, guys, basically, because this is very long topic. I personally think to compare the two movies in a video that's probably gonna get copyright. But my idea is to take the scenes that already exist between the Joss Whedon version and Snyder version and just to compare them basically shot by shot so you can see the differences. And then maybe, just maybe, some people that haven't still got into their heads that the two movies are different will see how much is actually cut from the particular scenes and how much more context there is in the Snyder Cut.
Mm.
Um, I can still remember like the first reviews that I watched actually of the Snyder Cut, and I watched, as always, John Campia, who said that, oh, that's the same movie. And I'm like, what did you say?
Did you watch even for 4 hours, or what did you do?
Yeah, it's the same movie. One is 4 hours, but it's the same movie. Like I
Um,
understand that the premise is the same because yeah, that's the story that Zack Snyder wanted to tell. But then the different scenes that were replaced and rewritten by Joss Whedon are a factor, and they're there. So overall, the story plays out the same way. But that doesn't mean that the movie is the same. Like it's not even
yeah.
close. It has more context. I mean, the Snyder Cut narratively is better. There's so much more character to Steppenwolf, the Amazons. I mean, you name it, there's more character to everybody. Superman.
Yeah, the fight scenes are longer and it's actually way better. I mean, I could never understand, oh, why would you cut a good fighting scene and make it shorter?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, especially for example the final scene with Steppenwolf, in which he actually dies in this one, and I mean they work together to kill him, but that's a clear message for Darkseid. I mean it's a message that we are here, so if you want you can come, if not stay. Whereas in the theatrical cut it was, I mean they just
Beam them
did
up.
something with his axe. I mean they I think Superman throws his axe and then Wonder Woman cut it, and he was afraid. I mean Steppenwolf was afraid that he lost his axe when he can fight without it actually. And then the palademons just got him and they boomed him up the boom tube, and that was it. And I always was like, what?
Yeah,
Why?
that was childish. I mean, just like an
Yeah,
animation actually, if the animation
yeah,
is for
yeah.
kids.
Mhm.
The explanation here is that he has fear, and the parademons smell fear. So let's just take him away. He's not.
But
He's no longer our
so
boss.
then, even though you're the leader and warlord, I mean, you don't have to be afraid because they can smell it and attack you at any moment.
Yeah, by
you
that
know.
logic.
So I mean, even Darkseid is afraid sometimes, and what? You know. So
Yeah, and
that thing was always interesting there.
those scenes with Superman where when he actually came with I mean, in the Snyder cut, he came, and that scene where Steppenwolf is hitting him with the axe, and he's like, making it freeze, and
Mhm.
then just like that, and it breaks. I mean, that was already shot by Snyder.
Mhm.
And Joss Whedon decided to replace that and reshoot it with his ridiculous scenes with Henry Cavill's deleted mustache, and to make it so much more cheesy and not badass. So I
Yeah,
don't get that because he already had those scenes. Now there are some scenes that are shot for the completion of the cut, like the Joker and Batman scene, and I'm pretty sure that scene with Martian Manhunter at the end of the movie and Ben Affleck, because it's obvious that Ben Affleck looks like now in his way skinnier.
I
So
was just going to ask you that. Doesn't he look really not so muscular in that scene? Because I was watching and say, wait, is this shot for now? Because he's not fat like in the first Justice League when they
yeah, he's
shot
skinny
him. Then,
actually. He's
yeah,
very
he's
skinny
skinny, but
in.
his face looks like in the original cut or something. Yeah,
Well,
so.
no, it's still skinnier because if you
Mhm.
see also that scene with the nightmare scene with the Joker, you can see that his
Mhm.
mask is actually bigger for his face. He does not
Yeah,
feel that at all.
that's because
It's
it's in the
hollow.
post-apocalyptic future when there is no food and he's skinnier, and he said, "But I'll take the same costume anyway."
Yeah, I mean, that's obvious. I'm very good at spotting these things
Mhm.
because, well, I'm just am. So, in the Joss Whedon cut, he was returned to reshoot as well, and then you can see that he's fatter than the original
Yeah.
scenes, which were included in the Whedon cut that Snyder shot. So that is very funny. The scenes where he is talking to Wonder Woman that was reshot, and you can clearly
Mhm.
see that he has more fat hair.
Yeah.
So everything that I mean, all the scenes that he looks more fat, those are the reshotted scenes, and now all the reshotted scenes from Zack Snyder are he's skinnier. I just can't. It's so funny.
You know, I always wondered if they could remove digitally the Henry Cavill's mustache. Why couldn't they remove his hair chest also? Okay,
Uh,
that's another thing.
because I don't know. Actually, yeah, I always wondered who was the big idea to make Superman hairy as a monkey. Who was that? Came up with that? That's probably Zack Snyder. But I have to ask him why. Why? That
Because
was
yeah,
absolutely ridiculous, especially when I saw that scene where he came back to life, and here it was much longer than the Whedon version and much
mm,
better. But still, when you have close-ups of him and the hairy chest is like in your eyes like
it's
all the
there. It's
time,
just there. Yes.
it's just too much on the nose. It's ridiculous. So yeah, the only thing that I
None
don't
of the
like.
others has this. So I mean, Aquaman doesn't. Jason Momoa is
Yeah.
kind of cleaning that part, as we say. But yeah, actually, that scene, as you said, it's really longer here with his return and way better, and especially with in context with the music that they use here. I mean, in the theatrical version, Danny Elfman was doing all the music, which Danny Elfman, but it sounded like as if Danny Elfman just has a paycheck to get. I mean, they told him just make something that sounds like your things, but not exactly. I mean, I couldn't tell if I didn't know that it's Danny Elfman. I couldn't tell exactly, except of the moments that he decided to use some parts of the original Superman music, which it kind of doesn't work for that Superman. And from Batman '89, which okay works with every Batman, but for that Superman, when I heard it, and you have this nostalgic feeling of oh, this is the ta, 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 but you know that it's not this Superman,
Yeah,
and
he has a
and I
theme
like it more
already.
when I hear the Timor thing from Man of Steel, pum pum, because it's for this Superman, and
Hmm.
it's still as a good Superman team as any other. So, but
Yeah.
and in context here, it works better. Plus that fighting scene is actually longer when Superman fights with all the other Justice guys.
Yeah, a
As
lot longer, but I'm really happy about that scene where he sees Flash. That's still one of the
mm,
best scenes I ever seen in
yeah.
any movie. Just is amazing how he can spot him while he moves,
Mhm.
and the Flash is so surprised Superman can see him. That's just amazing to see.
Actually, one of the scenes in the theatrical that was okay with that was the race between the two of them in the end, the post credit scene that they had in the theatrical version when they raced against each other. That was actually good because it is in the comic book and it's a great moment to see them. Oh, you want to see who is faster. How nice. Yeah. It
Yeah, but we
kind
all know
of,
that is the Flash.
well, yeah, depends sometimes of the writers and things. Yeah? But still, it is a great moment because it is like, especially how it ends. It's like one of the comic book covers from the past that they had, and you see, nice. I always want to see this. They had this in the animation, by the way, Superman.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
nice nod, but it's out of nowhere basically,
yeah.
especially after the movie ends. Well, Nikki says Joss ending should be considered a crime to cinema art. Hi
Yeah.
to Maxa too. Maxa Bert. Yes. Well, what to tell you? I mean, depends on how you look at it. There are some moments that you can consider a bit charming, like Superman carrying that building in the Joss Whedon version. I mean,
with
you
the
do
ten
this and
guys
I'll do that.
there.
That's kind of cute, but it's just totally
Without,
different tone and ways to do things, ways to show things compared
yeah.
to what we already had with Man of Steel and BBS. So from that point of view, they just decide to turn things around into this more lighter tone altogether, and it just
Mhm.
didn't fit that well because a lot of things didn't make sense. Sorry, Bulgarian. Then I understand that they wanted the movie to resemble more like Shazam because then we had Shazam in a similar time.
Plus, they
Yeah.
wanted to look like Avengers because they knew, oh, this movie there had success. Let's try to make it more like that.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake. Either own what you're doing, I mean, stick with the
Mhm.
original, or I mean, don't turn things like that around because
Yeah.
the original Snyder idea was that Superman will eventually become this more lighter Superman when he sees the hope in humanity, when humanity sees him as the symbol of hope, and all of those things just come together. But before that, we see Superman as dark as he is because he is in this
Mhm.
modern world where people are jaded in a lot of ways. People are, well, pretty bad. And yes, they also bullied him when he was a kid. And he saw that they don't really like different people, let alone some alien from space. So all of
Yeah,
that is
that's why
realistic.
this scene in the beginning of the theatrical version where he speaks with the kids, for the video blog and things like that, doesn't work here. I mean, that's something that Superman would do, speaking with the kids, telling him, things about it. I mean, Batman wouldn't do this, but it doesn't work for this Superman because he will eventually become this lighter Superman that you said. But at the time that the kids were doing the video, he wasn't.
Exactly.
We still didn't have this moment of establishing him as this beacon of hope for people. It was some guy who is different, and they didn't know exactly. Wait a minute now. Some people believe that he's like a god, but others still hated him. So we don't have that context yet. And this scene is there just to kind of to show that this Superman is like the Christopher Reeve Superman. It's not.
He's not,
It's
and you
different.
only have to go back to BVS to see that they
Hmm.
also. I mean, the crowd wanted to lynch him. There was a lynch mob. There was a
Yeah, yeah.
scarecrow that people held in the riots in front of that government building where Lex decided to blow everyone up. I mean, Superman was basically a very decisive figure. He was
Hmm.
all over the news and shows discussions. That was obvious in BBS. He was really upset when he was watching all those shows, actually, talking about
Hmm.
him, how they asked all of those questions. What is Superman to the people? How he fits in this world? And all those questions were asked that are entirely logical if we had this figure who can do everything that we cannot do. And if he wants to take over the world now, he can. So
Sure,
it's normal.
and we actually see that something like that happens in those dream sequences that he just decided because Lois Lane is dead and phew, he just has to switch sides and the
Mhm.
world will be much different in
Well, it's
that.
either that or, like I've heard, he switched sides not only because Lois is dead, but
Hmm.
because she is dead, he becomes vulnerable to the anti life equation, which
Hmm.
enables
Yeah, no,
Darkseid
I
to
also read that.
control
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Which
that's what's happening.
actually, I'm very happy that they show not only Darkseid in the Snyder Cut, but also the anti-life equation. I mean, it's they show that it's something. They show why he is actually doing those things that
Yeah.
he did, and the fact that actually Steppenwolf finds it out gives a bit more thing for Steppenwolf to do. It's not just this general who comes here. I mean, we know that he apparently wants to come back home.
And
It's
he
not like in the
betrayed
theatrical version where he just speaks to the box, mother, and
Mother!
mother.
Mother!
Yeah,
Mother!
it is actually way better. I mean, we finally understand it's not a complicated villain or anything, and it's also logical for Darkseid to send him first. And I mean, you always send your generals first,
Yeah,
except for the great battle with the Amazons and the men and everybody else, where they actually show that Darkseid comes and
but
not
that was baby
Steppenwolf.
Darkseid who still was conquering and establishing
Hmm.
himself 5,000
Yeah.
years ago. So that makes sense to me.
Hmm.
What
Yes.
Nikki is saying here. The racing scene had a glitch on Flash costume. I'm not sure what what you mean here. Cannot remember what. Yeah, I just can't remember now. Steppenwolf looked awful in Joss Whedon, yes, like a toy, like an action figure. I can almost see his joints. It's
Actually, the action figure looks better. There is an action
oh
figure, and it looks better because they managed to hide the joints. So, with the armor and things. So yeah, if they
yeah.
did it better, then in that movie, I don't know. Don't know why they decided to change the whole design of Steppenwolf, especially when they kind of showed it in BVS when he appeared. I mean, it's still a deleted scene, which you see in the Ultimate Cut, but it is there. So.
Well, actually, lastly, I found out that the Joss Whedon Steppenwolf version,
Mhm.
if Joss Whedon were to never complete that movie, but if Zack Snyder were to complete his movie originally, it's still going to be this Whedon version as a
Yeah.
design because the studio insisted on it. But now, because they decided to go full on with the Snyder cut, they said, "Okay, we are lifting our hands. Just do what you want,
Yeah.
Zach." And he returned his original design. But if he were to actually complete his original movie, we would have had still the same Steppenwolf, and we would never have this one that is the original. So in a
Maybe
way,
at least if he finished it and it was with this design, at least the effects were going to be better. I don't know. Maybe if they just had better effects on the whole Steppenwolf thing. I
yeah, but
don't know.
when you think about it, I mean that we ultimately got what we only can get in this scenario. We will never get a
Mhm.
4 hour movie. We will never get what Zach actually wanted perfectly. We still would have gotten something half baked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if it wasn't for all of the things that happened, we will never actually see this in the first place, even if
Mhm.
Zach were to complete it originally.
Yeah. Maybe if they pushed it back a bit and gave him, let's say, not it has to be 2 hours, but I mean 3. Like, I mean, Endgame is 3 hours,
Oh yeah.
basically. So what was the problem with that? I couldn't understand why not being exactly 3 hours. I mean, okay, 4 hours theatrically. Not many people will go into the cinema for 4 hours more. It's a
They will
fact,
not even play
especially
it, I
most of
think,
them.
because it's a requirement to fit into
Mhm.
particular, schedule. Because they will not be able to show the movie during the day a lot. It's like
Yeah.
there's gonna be like three screenings a day. All the other movies should take a back seat, which they don't want to do. So that is
Mhm.
why those rules of time restrictions exist. But I do think that 2 and 40 minutes, 2 and 40 minutes, let's say two
Well,
hours and
around
forty
there,
minutes,
yes. Yeah.
that's just doable. And then that is why we get the other cuts when the Blu-ray comes out, because when you can watch it at home, it's good if they
Mm.
can release such a cut, and that is, you know, okay. Now that we have streaming services, everything becomes possible. That's what. Yeah, I lost my
Yeah.
voice again. Sorry.
Speaking about the Flash and his costume, I actually never liked that costume. In no matter which cut is it Snyder cut or whatever, I could never understand why that costume should look like that. But at least Flash here now behaves a bit different. I mean, he still says his weird things,
Yeah.
but in the end, when the things get serious, he also gets serious. It's not he doesn't look so awkward. He doesn't have this line about what is brunch. I don't understand brunch.
Oh
Which
no.
I was sitting in the cinema when I watched the theatrical one. Nobody laughed at that. I mean, nobody. And I was looking and I say, are we supposed to laugh now or what? I mean, to none of these moments that are actually reshoot with Flash that supposed to make him more funny or something. Nobody laughed.
Yeah.
I think one person laughed at when he said Dostoevsky instead of Das Svidania with the Russian. I think one person kind of said, and that was it.
I don't know if the American public even knows who Dostoevsky is, but
Probably no, but I mean, even if he does, I think they know that it doesn't mean goodbye. Let's hope.
yeah, just the name, like saying, "Hey,
Uh,
Newton."
yeah.
Let's
So
say if you're in the country that Newton's from.
So this version here I liked a bit more. It's more toned down. Even the scene which I thought it was a Whedon scene when he helps Wonder Woman when he's running and he pushed her sword, which is a great scene. But then he trips and he falls. I thought this is a Whedon thing because he trips and he falls. And in the theatrical version he does it again 2 times or something like that. But here actually when he trips and he falls, he hits himself, but there is no sound in the theatrical. He said something, oh, oof, oh, something like that. Which when I watched the two, and I said, oh, so that's why, because it looks as if it makes him look stupid, But in the Snyder cut, he actually makes this. It's kind of logical for him to trip because he was just running very fast and giving her the sword. He's not going to look in
Yeah,
his
still
feet.
watching Wonder Woman.
Yeah. In the theatrical, actually, they done this. First, the music is kind of like not okay there in the whole moment. Plus, you saw him a time before that when he trips and he does kind of stupid things, and it just gives that feeling that this guy doesn't know how to run even. I mean, he's the fastest man alive, but he doesn't know how to do it exactly. So when I seen the Snyder cut, actually, I didn't see that. It
He,
looked kind of
yeah, I
more
mean,
logical.
he just tripped and fell.
Yeah, yeah.
That
No
was it.
sound and things like that. I mean, a bit more serious. And I think he wasn't watching like smiling when he gave her the sword. I think it was
Ah,
some
no, it
moment.
was there. That was there.
Yeah,
He was smiling and was like,
yeah.
yeah.
But it was kind of again with the whole colors and the whole feeling. It was more like to me. It gave me that feeling like yes, I've done it, and not oh my god, I've done it. I'm not useless or anything like that. But after that, there is no the other scene in which he saves her by getting onto her, and then after that, looking awkward, which is a scene that Gal Gadot didn't want to shoot, so they used the stunt double for that.
She is smart like
Because,
that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. For that part, more Victor, more Cyborg in the Snyder Cut, which I liked a lot because I liked him in the first part also. I mean, I saw that Ray Fisher can actually do this, and I say, this guy is is actually one of the best actors here in that version. But there was something missing. I mean, we didn't know anything about him here. You can very very smoothly actually Snyder gives you anything about his powers, what happened to him, and it's a great scene. And then you understand why he becomes a bit more softer, not just yeah, I'm a good guy now because my father.
Yeah.
He actually have that scene with the waitress. He kind of robs the bank, by the way, to give her the money
Oh
because
no, I
those are
think that he just
internet
made
forever.
them out of nowhere because he can do that
Yeah, I
actually.
also think that it shouldn't be like a crime or something
No, I
because
really
he.
think that it was implied that he did that. Literally, he
Mm,
just multiplied the money. He didn't
yeah.
stole them. He didn't steal them from
Mm.
anywhere.
So a great thing that shows you actually that here this guy is actually going to become a hero, and it's an important hero for that.
Yeah,
It
Nikki
shows you
says we
why they
saw.
need.
I can't even talk. Nikki says that we saw more drama between Cyborg and his dad. Yeah,
Mhm.
although I would never understand this story type of arcs in American movies where the father or the mother has this very important job, very, like changing the world kind of things. And the kid is always like, oh my gosh, this is not a good dad. Like Superman kids now, and Superman
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Lois.
One of them sometimes I just want to slap very hard.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, there's some things that are more important than going to a game, like ridiculously
Mm,
more important. He's literally working with materials and in a lab, like, Star
mhm.
Labs. He's dealing with things that are life changing, that are gonna change history of humanity. It's so important. They should have known that his job is extremely important. It's not like that he is working at a coffee shop and he
Yeah.
is just, the clock hits 11 and he's off. He has
I mean, he
responsibility
can't
that
just say, okay,
transcends.
so yeah, my son has a very important game, so let's not change the world today because
I
he has very
mean,
important game.
if this is like here in our country, I think that we would understand if our parents
Mm,
would not attend something because they're occupied with world problems. I mean, yeah, that's important.
kinda, yes, yeah. I mean, it's great that they show those moments so that we understand what happens between him and his father. But yeah, it's a typical American thing for that part.
Yeah, I do
But
think that uh, Cyborg was annoying with his attitude overall because he almost cried actually in the car before they were hit with him and his mom. And
mhm,
I'm just, okay, this is so like immature of him. It's ridiculous. And then he didn't even want to talk to him and implied how his father made him a monster. Excuse me, your father saved your life in an impossible way. Impossible.
mhm, mhm.
And then, of course, he understood that when he heard, the recording that his father
He
left.
broke for it, of course, because
And Father Twice Over was the name of that chapter of the movie, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
And he literally says in the recording that he helped bring him into the world and then bring him like back into the. I don't know what the expression was exactly, but basically, yeah, two times father. That's exactly the case. And when the Justice League go to resurrect Superman and they see each other, that scene is also very like, well, it's deep because his dad sees him that he is actually now working for something. He's using his gifts.
Mhm.
He didn't just give up and be brooding and moody all the time.
Yes, he accept what he is now, and you can see that he's actually kind of thankful now to his dad, giving him those powers.
Yeah, so that moments, final moments that he had with his dad, meeting his gaze and then his dad sacrificing himself and finally, Cyborg understood what his father was doing and the importance of his work.
Mhm.
That was pretty damn important, really.
Yeah, they actually show why his father was doing all that. In the theatrical cut, actually, his father survives. In the end,
Oh,
I'm sure. Yeah,
I
it was in
forgot.
the end. I mean, he was there working with him, and And Victor Seymour changed, actually, it upgraded into the more classical cyborg look because people didn't like this look that he has
That was
here.
cool. I mean, I actually expected something like this in the Snyder Cut, but never
Right? So,
happened.
no, yeah, here things. I mean, it was a great scene with the sacrifice because he actually and explained how Steppenwolf get the third box because into the theatrical, just the when they revive Superman, the box drops into a police car and then nothing. So we just have to assume that he boom tubed himself there, he grabbed it, and then
Yeah, I don't
you know,
remember seeing that. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not there. Just it falls on a police car and that's it. And then they fight with Superman, and they just say, and he grabbed the third box. We lost
Yeah.
it. And how did you find it again after that? You know?
Yeah, but here it drops on the car, but then Cyborg's dad takes it and then marks it so
Mhm.
they can
Yeah,
find them.
exactly. So, and the whole thing that they get into the lab to revive Superman, you have that scene with the father in the other version. They just get inside there. I didn't even remember that it was a lab or something. If if they didn't say so.
Well, there was no Star Labs in the Whedon cut at all.
Yeah,
We didn't
and
know
actually
that.
here we get Atom, or the second Atom is here. He works with Cyborg's dad
Yeah.
because I think they had plans for something like a movie, you know. So yeah, but he's here. He's always actually here.
Well, he's a
Mm.
witty character. I don't mind him so.
Yeah, I was okay for that.
But that's
Another
also a huge
character,
difference.
another character that wasn't in the theatrical version is Martian Manhunter. Yeah,
Yeah.
which we
I
see
just
here.
want to add that the addition of Star Labs is actually a pretty big deal because Star Labs were not anywhere
Mm.
presented in the previous movies, and here is
Yeah,
completely established in what they do. Just
yeah.
in this one movie, we know that there's Star Labs. We know that they are working well. It seems for the good of humanity.
Mhm.
So that's pretty
Yeah,
substantial.
they are startups. It's important part of DC's mythos. I mean, it's there. They have it in every city. They work for the good of people. It's not just some type of lab in which the Flash works with his three friends.
Don't remind me. I
you know,
can't. I can't deal with that.
does this show even still exist? I don't know. I just a long time ago, as we said.
I
But yeah,
think yes for one
way
more
way
season.
better than the theatrical version. Really, as we said, if you take the theatrical version as some type of cartoon episode, great, you can have fun with it. Still okay. Although I don't like how they went in the direction of Batman saying some more quips in the theatrical version, like when he continuously said to Arthur, "Can you get some help?" And he was looking at him and he said, "You to talk to fish, right?" I mean, that's just something that Batman wouldn't do, I think. It
Yeah,
was
just
okay the
funny.
first thing when he said, "I heard you talk to fish." Then okay, leave it. Once that joke is okay, once, but then you come back to the joke.
And there's other things like Aquaman saying to the Batman, "Dress like a bat." I dig it.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, exactly. Or I actually watching the Snyder cut, I couldn't understand why things so now for what was J.K. Simmons training, because he has a longer scene here, but it's still just that he's still just Commissioner Gordon.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was training. He got like super
Yeah,
big arms, like veins everywhere, and
yeah,
I'm
and I thought we're going to see him fighting maybe in a scene when some hell breaks loose and he takes off his coat and he's fighting. No, and I was wondering, why was he training?
maybe he just wanted to train for himself for
Probably,
once.
yeah. So I mean, maybe, yes. But there was nothing else with that. I still want to see him more as Commissioner Gordon with Ben Affleck Batman with the Deathstroke. I just wanted to see that movie more than the Batman actually.
Oh yeah,
Sadly, we're never going to see that, but still, at least we
I'm,
get this.
because I watched Harry Potter these days, and Robert Pattinson was there, and part four, I
Oh yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is the new Batman shovel face. I can't believe it. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Really
he's really handsome, but not Batman. More like the Crow, like I said in my trailer reaction of the first trailer. I think the point is that he just as a type would be cast so much more accurately if he was in the role of the Crow, rather than Batman, because he just looks like somebody that could play the Crow and not Batman.
well, at one point they wanted Jason Momoa to play the Crow, which I said no,
That would be
no,
weird.
because he's too big for the Crow. And I said it's not a new version of the Crow in which he has to be big and strong for things. Well,
Well, he
yeah,
can always lose the muscle, but that's
yeah,
gonna be horrible. Why would you
mm,
do that?
yeah. So
You know
anyway, that
how
movie
Chris Hemsworth lost all the muscle for that Robin Zom. I don't know what that role was. The C something. Moby Dick. God damn it! What was that
really?
movie?
Oh,
Yeah, he
well,
became a Skeletor for that role. Lost all the
oh my god.
muscle.
Well, he has to gain it again because
He
Thor.
did.
Yeah. So yeah,
He already
nice.
did because we all know how that is happening. Or at least I
Yeah,
know.
well, yeah. You have to show that video to more people actually.
Mm,
For that. Yeah.
I
Oh,
actually am doing a series now about the fitness industry and everything that entails. I mean, all the deception, lies, and how to build actually a physique, and how much actually a physique like Thor is gonna take. Not 6 months for sure, more like a few years, realistically. So yeah, but
we
that's
can
on my
expect that
OnlyFans.
then, right?
Hmm?
We can expect that then from
Well,
you.
it's on my
Right?
OnlyFans already,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh,
I'm
good.
keeping with that series. There's a lot more to cover, so yeah, whoever is and my OnlyFans can watch that.
Yeah. For all the people out there, as we say. Good. Something else that you discuss here about something really spoilerish. I think
Well,
the
I
topic is
just
actually.
want to say a few things before I lose my voice again.
Mm,
So basically, the Amazons were much better presented here.
mm, mm,
Not only because the scenes with them were a lot longer, the fighting scenes, the way that they protected the box, but their interaction between each other, how they were presented, is just very close to how the Amazons actually are in the DC Universe comic books, I think, and
mm,
they're very similar to how the Amazons are in terms of attitude, at least. We're not talking about the budget or their armor, but they're very close to Xena. Um, you know, so yeah, in terms of mentality and how they speak, how they act, just so much like Xena. That's just amazing. But we never saw that in the Whedon cut at all. And even when you compare those Amazons with the Amazons in Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman movies, they're still 2 times more badass here than they
mm,
are, in the Wonder Woman movies. And Wonder Woman herself, although Zack Snyder does not do a good job of presenting her on screen. Because I mean, in terms of visually, she looks 10 times more better in her own movies.
yeah.
Uh, Here, because of the colors, she looks just very well uh, dark. I mean, like with lack of color, not dark, but like lack of color contrast because of all the filters. But the point is
Mm,
that her hair is not as good. Sometimes the shots look so raw that everybody looks bad. I mean, Lois looks very
mm.
bad. Everybody just looks a few times worse than they usually look like with his
Maybe that's why
filters.
in the theatrical version, Joss Whedon put some shots of Gal Gadot's butt there. I mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
ridiculous on its
I
own.
mean, maybe he wanted to have something more, some more cover in that part. But
Yeah.
you could see them. I mean, they're there. I
uh,
actually like when you said about Lois. I really like that here in this version, it's not so easy for her to move on to just continue. I mean, she
oh, something got screwed up, guys. Hold on.
yes, you are here, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Can everybody hear us? Just some technical stuff. I'm gonna fix it just a
Yeah,
sec.
you're here.
Yeah, we are here. Just happened the same thing that happened with our stream, unfortunately. But yes, we're here. Everybody can see us. Audio fine, says Clayton. Okay,
Hmm.
let me know about the visuals. Oh, and we're back. Okay, awesome.
Nice. Good
Thank
then.
you.
So yeah, that's what I really like about her. It's not just things happen, and I will continue to be a reporter because I have to know it. They show that it's really hard for her. We really can understand, especially when actually Superman comes back. We can understand why he's so important. Also, with in the beginning of the movie when he dies and his cry actually
Oh yeah,
opens the boxes. Before that, we don't know why they're activated. I mean, you can just assume, yeah, okay, because the Earth doesn't have a protector now, and the boxes just decided now.
yeah.
But here you get more context on that, why actually they're activated.
A ton more.
Yeah, yeah.
And that
It's
is what Lex means when he says the bell has been rung.
now all the things that Lex Luthor was just people thought that he was babbling something in BVS, and they said, and this is not Lex Luthor because he just babbles some things. And now actually we know because that was the whole plan. Watching all the things, you going to understand what happens, and not just wanting the very first movie to tell you everything. You know that
Yeah,
that was
that
Snyder's
is
plan,
pretty
and here we can
genius.
see it. Yeah.
I mean,
So now
everything
we
makes
can
sense.
actually see why this Lex is like that.
Yeah, he knows a lot. I mean, we can only imagine how much information he was able to get from the Kryptonian ship and
Hmm.
communicating with Steppenwolf. Or that was not the communication, it was a database that he accessed and he saw the plan, the Steppenwolf that he wanted, the mother boxes, and all of those
Hmm.
things. I don't get though how Lex thought that he's gonna survive this at all because when I mean, he must have known that once the mother boxes synchronize, the whole world is gonna be extinguished in an instant.
Hmm.
So I don't know how he planned to survive that.
Maybe if we had Justice League 2, we were going to see some type of plan that he had or something. I don't know. I mean, it's Lex Luthor. So,
I mean, basically everybody
and-
died. If it wasn't for the Flash, everybody died. And
yeah.
that's the other thing, by the way, that in the Whedon cut, it was not established that Flash can heal quickly. But here
Hmm.
it was clearly shown that he can heal very quickly. It's not as quick as, let's say, Superman, but is
Yeah.
still very quick. And he completely heals. It just took
And
a
they
few
actually
seconds.
and they actually show that how important it's not to always break the rule about go back in time. He clearly can see. Okay, now I have to break the rule. Now it's important. Now you can save the world. It's not like in a certain TV show when he did it whenever he wanted to. So
Yeah.
you can actually see the weight of that power. So you can see, oh, this young man, he actually has a great power that can not just use like, well, I forget my sandwich. Let me just go back in time.
Yeah.
Right?
That would
Because
be
it's not
ridiculous.
like that. So yeah.
And some powers in the universe eventually are gonna meddle here and be like,
Mhm.
excuse me, what are you doing? You cannot just do that. And the other thing that I just thought about is that this is actually what makes the Flash faster than Superman because he can access the Speed Force, and that
Mhm.
makes him able to do all of those things that Superman can do. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they can
They
race, but if he cannot break this barrier and access the speed force, he cannot actually reach that level of speed, I don't
Mhm.
think.
He's just super fast, but he doesn't have
Mhm.
access to the speed force. He's not a speedster, Superman. They established that in comic books, a long time ago. That, okay, now officially you are faster because of this and this. Before that, they were doing some races, and they were always, kind of not decisive about who is it going to be faster. But then and even in a comic book, even Superman said that he's faster than me.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the
actually, it was
speed
established long
force,
time ago. We don't
that's
have to
it.
have this, dead battle fights. Who is faster and things that we know. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Speed Force explains everything. If you can
yeah,
access the
mhm,
Speed Force, you are faster. You are transcending time
yeah,
and space now, which is totally different than just running. And if they are
mhm,
just running, Flash can do whatever he wants to be Superman, so he basically still can reach some kind of a more of a speed just to beat him. So yeah, he's
yeah.
faster.
Well, you know, DC also established that Cheetah is the fourth or fifth fastest character in their universe, but still.
Yeah, actually.
Beating some pistons, but they said it. I mean, they said it officially in our ranking. These are the. I think they had a ranking to like 10 of the our fastest characters, and she's there fourth or fifth. I have to check again because I wrote an article about her around Wonder Woman 1984, and I wrote that fact inside. So yeah, and I
Yeah.
checked it before. That's just to remember. But yeah, how does this work? I don't know. But DC said it, so you know,
Yeah, I
she's
know.
fast. I mean, her name is Cheetah, but still. But yeah, and here we can see how big is this power. I mean, being the Flash and everything. So maybe this explains kind of why he's a bit awkward, but not so awkward as in the theatrical cut when they just made him, you know, with the thing that with the Blanche always and that scene when he went to see his father in prison and the guy just told him, "Hey, can't you do it a bit faster?" And he drew his face.
Yeah.
Okay, why? I mean, so that we laugh was okay, probably, but
Well, he
it
wanted
was
to
not
make him
needed.
look silly, in front of the other guy.
Well, yeah, okay. Because he tells him, "Can't you be faster?" It's okay. A lot of
He was
people
a
do that.
jerk as far as I remember, so that was kind of
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
yeah.
he was, but still, I mean, just ignore him. But okay. Still, some little scenes like that they had with Flash, but here, uh, it again works better. His connection with Victor. I mean, they had in the theater. Could they still had some scenes trying to see how Buddy tries to get to him, like kind of to be friends. But here it was better actually. Again, I think
Yeah,
it's explained really better, and you can see how in the end when they're together and he does this to him. You know, I kind of feel it now more because in the theatrical he tried twice to show him this when they were in the cemetery. You know, it's with taking out the Superman's corpse, and he tried to do this twice, showing that why this scene is here. But here it was better because they became friends, and he just does this to him. Here we go. You don't need anything else.
yeah, that's the least of our worries,
Yeah.
between the two
Uh,
movies.
mm,
Okay, so one last thing because we really have to go here. I just remember
mm,
that scene when you said that with the fist. I remember how it was in the Whedon when Steppenwolf, went with the fist towards Superman's face. Superman did, that, avoiding, but this was like with the claws. Superman did the same thing and
mm,
then started beating him until all of his armor started to fall apart and he was
mm,
like,
mm.
blasting him with the heat vision and beating him. It was
It,
so
it's
cool.
it's way better that fighting scene here. I mean, especially when Superman appears for the first time and he just takes the hit from the axe and say, "I'm not impressed."
Yeah, he just stands there
You
with
know,
the
yeah.
axe.
Instead of the creepy things, I mean, like because it must be like in the old comic books, like I like truth and justice. I'm a big fan of that, and you know, it okay, but it doesn't work for that Superman.
Yeah,
So otherwise, okay. If this was Christopher Reeve Superman, I like very much, of course, also. But those are two different versions. This Superman here just takes the hit and says, "I'm not impressed," and then he beats the crap out of you because
that's Superman.
Superman.
That's
Yeah,
Superman. And
exactly.
I really love that they use the ice breath. That's like no
Yeah,
brainer. And you see the ice breath used now in the Lois show, Superman and
yeah.
Lois, and it's just so underpowered that it's ridiculous. He basically completely froze the guy. If you watch the previous episode, the third episode,
Mhm, mhm.
and then hit him, but he didn't broke in pieces. The ice just broke out of him. But no, this is Sub Zero, sub the zero of the zero. Okay, so
Yeah,
what
if Sub
happened?
Zero and Superman fight, who would win?
Well, yes, well, Sub Zero's gonna die like right away. But
Of course.
the point is that that was exactly what's gonna happen. Superman just has to do this such a light blow, and they show that how light it is, how effortless it is, and the
Mm,
whole
mm.
axe froze, and then he just did,
Yeah,
like that, like a snap. And that's
exactly.
amazing. I can watch that all day. And then he was CGI, by the way, in that scene,
Yeah.
and his chest was making, this shape, when the muscle
Mhm.
here is.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that actually at all. The costume doesn't have that, but when he's CGI, he's more muscular, so he has chest through his
CGI has it.
symbol.
The CGI
No
has it.
problem. I mean, do that if you like. I think it looks awesome, but it was kind of funny. It was like in the comic books. In the comic books, often he is drawn in that way, where the muscles are getting through the fabric, so you can see the chest even through the logo.
Sometimes it's not even fabric. I mean, they just cover everything blue and then they put the logo on it.
Yeah, it's
It's,
great. I'm all up
it's
for
like
these
that.
things. As long as Superman is actually Superman and not some weakling that when he sees his kryptonite, he's like, oh.
Oh my god, yes. My biggest weakness for that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. He never reacted like that to Kryptonite, even in the BVS. I mean, he knew that that's a weakness, but what now? To
No, he
stop
finally
doing.
understood at the end, but he didn't know what kryptonite is in BVS.
Hmm.
Batman
Yeah.
introduced that to him with the grenades, which was very unpleasant. He
Yeah.
saw that that makes him weak. Then the spear, and the spear made him faint when he saved Lois. But then when he recovered, he was able to hold it and fly with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, why didn't he just throw it at Doomsday? Well, probably he wouldn't be able to throw it that
He wouldn't be able
strongly
to
because
throw it
he's
like that.
super weak.
Yes, I mean it would be like as if a normal athlete is throwing it, kind of, because his power will be like that of a normal person. Maybe not even an Olympic athlete, just a person who throws spear. So
Yeah, that was a too
if
big of
if
a
he
risk to
could
take.
have, if he could have, then it would be logical again to okay, just give it to Batman. It's the same throw. I mean, or Wonder Woman. Maybe she could have thrown it a bit better.
Yeah, but
She,
she was
but
busy to
still.
hold Doomsday at one place.
Hmm.
That was key
Yep.
also.
Yeah.
And Batman was helping by shooting Doomsday in the face with the kryptonite grenades. So all of that
So
was
far
needed.
away.
Yeah, but accurately.
Hmm.
And all,
Yeah.
all of that was needed so they can contain him because it was obviously that he is stronger than everybody. So the only way to contain him is to use the grenades, and then Wonder Woman hold him with the lasso, and then Superman getting with the final blow. He didn't intend to get stabbed in the same time, but they
Hmm.
don't know what Doomsday is, that he mutates and he grows spikes. So
Yeah.
that's just what happened. I mean, he knew that he is risking when he's doing that, but he just still did it anyway. So I think that the way that the whole scene is explained and set up makes total sense. Superman is going to do it himself to make sure that
Yeah.
he dies. I mean, Doomsday dies, and then Superman dying as well was just the circumstance of the nature of Doomsday, that the fact that he is growing those spikes. So yeah, logical.
Logical. Just people have to get a bit more into those things instead of trying to get to their logic. But he could have thrown it. And I mean, yes, if we go to the Lord of the Rings, they could have just give the ring to someone else or just to throw it from these big eagles that they had there. Again, everything is explained actually.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
explained because I just saw that. I'm so happy.
right? Yes, and it is explained. I mean, people can't say, yeah, they could have just used the gigantic eagles and throw it from there. No, they can't. It's explained why. Even in the books, by the way, it's explained why.
Oh,
Tolkien
I
says
don't.
because of this.
I actually don't
That-
remember any explanation about why would Frodo not get onto the to the Eagles. I don't know what the explanation about that is. I mean, they first
well,
didn't call them, and they're like creatures that only come in a particular scenario. Let's say that's one thing that I can
that's
say.
one of the things. Yes, I mean you can't use them all the time. They just come in a particular type of situations. Plus, they don't go around the whole, let's say, kingdom or things like that. Just
They were there. They saved them at the
mm,
end.
yeah,
Uh, but it was obvious that Frodo was chosen because he's the only one that can withstand the corruption of the ring for that long. And in the end, the ring did corrupt him.
hmm,
After all, it did, but he managed to, I think, I don't know actually how it fell exactly. Yeah, I think he was able to throw it, or oh no no no, he was not able to throw it. Gollum, they fought with Gollum. Gollum cut off
Yeah,
his finger, and then Gollum just fell into the lava and died with the ring.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the finger,
and the finger. Yeah.
and the finger.
Anyway, we're not talking about Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
because
but
we're
no,
gonna
they
be here
were.
5 hours. Yeah, it's like the Snyder cut. Well, four. Okay. But that is it, guys. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can say and some things that we can miss. And okay, let's just say that the first live action Dark Side was awesome, and we just
Awesome.
like to see more of him. He's a lot
Yeah,
more menacing than anything that I could imagine, and a lot more menacing than Thanos. I mean, Thanos is more handsome, but Darkseid is a lot more scary,
plus
especially.
here we saw and the Sad and Granny Goodness, which I want to see more of them also.
Oh
I'm happy
yeah,
that we saw them here, but still more, because Granny Goodness also has some warriors that you know, which we
and she
would
was
be nice to
completely
see.
CGI. By the way,
What? What?
she was completely CGI. That was interesting.
Yeah, but she was there. I mean, that's where when you see Darkseid, you need to have all his cohorts there. So Steppenwolf, Granny Goodness, and the Sad.
Actually, when I saw the Disney animations, I don't remember seeing the Zod. Is he
He's
in one
there.
of the
He's
animation?
there. Yeah, especially in the first in the Superman the animated series, he's there.
Oi,
Every time that Darkseid appears, he's there.
I I
He
haven't
just
seen that
looks more
in
normal there.
years.
Again, he looks kind of like a normal person with a hood on and things like that. So maybe that's why you didn't recognize him. Here he looks way different, but also Steppenwolf looks different here. I mean, they're like more humanoid like in the comic books and in the cartoons. So maybe that's why. I mean, he looks kind of frail in the cartoon, but that's how he looks in the comic book, like a man with an ugly man with a hoodie on, and that's it. But
Well,
he's there.
well, he's very cool to look at somehow, and when they communicate through the mother box liquid metal thingy,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
so
cool.
cool. That's still like one of the coolest special effects I've seen.
Mm, true.
Just
At
looks
least we saw it
badass.
now. Right.
Okay, guys. So before something else crashes and I completely lose my voice, thank you so much for watching. Once again, there's always more to say, but I mean, yeah, we have to end it
Yeah.
somewhere. So let us know what you think in the comments, guys. If you like to support me, you can check out my OnlyFans where I do my meaningful sex educational content, plus fitness and health. There's always Patreon and PayPal. And if you're Warhammer fans, you can visit my Golden Astartes server. But with that being said, guys, yes, take care, dear Clayton. Take care, everybody. And I'm gonna be able to stream on YouTube at the end of April if everything is okay. So at the very end of April, the 29th or somewhere there, I should be able to stream there. Just letting you know. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Till next time with me, Garage Reviews and Logan K.
Bye.